Your dad's generation had the real sleepers. Here are 12 cars that could smoke a Mustang in 1955. Listen up, fellas. Everyone thinks muscle cars started with the GTO in '64. Dead wrong. Your old man's generation was driving absolute monsters disguised as grocery getters. We're talking about cars that looked like they belonged in a church parking lot but could destroy anything at a stoplight. These weren't your typical fin-heavy show ponies. No racing stripes, no hood scoops, no BS. Just raw, unfiltered American torque hiding behind chrome bumpers and bench seats. Today I'm counting down 12 cars from the 1950s that would make your Camaro cry. Cars that dominated NASCAR while looking like something Ward Cleaver would drive to the office. Hit that subscribe button because this list is about to blow your mind. And stick around. Number 1 will shock you. Number 12, 1956 Lincoln Premier. Picture this. It's 1956. Eisenhower's in the White House. Your neighbor pulls up in what looks like a presidential limousine. 4,300 pounds of luxury leather and chrome. Then he floors it. That luxury barge just hit 60 miles per hour in 10 seconds flat, thanks to a 368 cubic inch Y-block V8 pumping out 285 horsepower. While you're still figuring out what happened, he's already 3 car lengths ahead, air conditioning blasting. The crazy part? This thing had a push-button lubrication system for the chassis. You didn't even have to get your hands dirty maintaining it. Lincoln built this for diplomats and executives, but it could outrun cars half its size. Number 11, 1950 Oldsmobile Rocket 88. This is where it all started, boys, the original sleeper blueprint. Oldsmobile dropped their revolutionary 303 cubic inch Rocket 58 into a lightweight body and accidentally invented the muscle car 14 years early. 135 horsepower doesn't sound like much today, but in 1950, this thing was terrorizing drag strips and winning NASCAR races. 10 out of 19 NASCAR wins in 1950 in a family car. Hot rodders and moonshiners both loved this thing. It was fast, affordable, and easy to modify. Everything a future muscle car would be. Number 10, 1957 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser. The name says it all. This was built for the highway. But Mercury wasn't messing around. They stuffed a 368 cubic inch Lincoln V8 under that space-age hood, 290 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque. This thing looked like it came from the Jetsons but hit like a freight train. 0 to 60 in under 10 seconds, and it could cruise at 80 miles per hour all day without breaking a sweat. Push-button everything, including a rear window that dropped down for extra airflow. It even had a trip computer. In 1957. The steering wheel was pure sci-fi, deep dish design with a clear plastic center. Most people were too busy admiring the gadgets to realize what kind of monster they were sitting on. Number 9, 1959 Pontiac Catalina Tri-Power. Here's where Pontiac got sneaky. They took their full-size family sedan and gave it the same 389 cubic inch tri-power setup that would later make the GTO famous. 3 two-barrel carburetors, 345 horsepower, quarter-mile times in the low 15 seconds. This was the exact same engine that would create the muscle car legend 5 years later. Your wife thought you bought a sensible family car. You knew better. The only hint was those twin pipes out back. Everything else screamed responsible dad mobile. Number 8, 1953 Buick Century. They called it the banker's hot rod, and for good reason. Buick took their smallest, lightest body and dropped in their biggest, most powerful engine. The result? A 322 cubic inch nailhead V8 making 188 horsepower in a car that could hit 110 miles per hour. That nailhead engine got its name from the unusually small valves arranged vertically. It created incredible torque at low RPMs, perfect for launching hard and not letting up. Police departments across America caught on fast. Highway patrol units used these as interceptors because nothing else could catch them. Meanwhile, hot rodders were pulling these engines for custom builds in early race cars. Number 7, 1957 Ford Custom 300 Police Interceptor. Speaking of police cars, Ford's Custom 300 looked like the most boring sedan on the planet. Fleet car, taxi, grandpa's grocery getter. But tick the right option boxes and you got the 312 cubic inch police interceptor V8. 300 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 9 seconds. Heavy-duty cooling, beefed-up internals, and calibrated speedometers that could track fleeing vehicles at 120+ miles per hour. The best part, civilians could order the same package. Most people never knew it existed. It was the perfect double-duty car. Drop the kids at school, then smoke a Corvette at the next light. Number 6, 1954 Hudson Hornet Special. Hudson owned NASCAR in the early 50s, and the Hornet Special was their street weapon. That smooth, low-slung body hit a 308 cubic inch inline six with twin carburetors pushing out up to 210 horsepower. More power than most V8s of the era, and this was from a flathead 6. Hudson's step-down chassis gave it a lower center of gravity than anything else on the road. It looked like a Sunday cruiser, but handled like a race car. The balance was incredible. It could run with V8 competition well into the V8 era. This wasn't just fast in a straight line. It was NASCAR-proven engineering disguised as a gentleman's cruiser. Number 5, 1958 Dodge D500. Dodge's answer to NASCAR dominance came in the form of the D500 package. Take any full-size Dodge, Coronet, Custom Royal, whatever, and check the D500 box. Suddenly, your family wagon had a 361 cubic inch V8 with dual 4-barrel carburetors making 320 horsepower. 0 to 60 in under 9 seconds. In a car that looked like it should be hauling Little League teams, the D500-1 variant pushed power even higher, closer to 340 horsepower with high lift cams and improved intake manifolds. You could get heavy-duty brakes, upgraded suspension, and performance rear axle ratios. This wasn't just fast, it was engineered for speed. Number 4, 1957 DeSoto Adventurer. DeSoto built this as a luxury coupe. Gold trim, two-tone paint, upscale everything. Anodized accents, premium interior appointments. This was executive transportation. What they didn't advertise was the 345 cubic inch dual quad Hemi Fifth 8 under the hood. 345 horsepower, 1 horsepower per cubic inch. That was unheard of in 1957. It could run with Corvettes and Thunderbirds while looking like it belonged at the country club. Only 1,950 were built in 1957, making them incredibly rare today. Most people just remember the styling, but the real story was that Hemi heart. Number 3, 1956 Studebaker Golden Hawk. Studebaker was dying as a company, but they went out swinging. They took their sleek hardtop design and stuffed in a Packard 352 cubic inch V8, the same engine from the top-tier Packard Caribbean. 275 horsepower and over 380 pound-feet of torque in a car weighing just 3,300 pounds. Faster than a Thunderbird, quicker than a base Corvette, one of the best power-to-weight ratios of any American car that year. It had a full set of gauges, comfortable seating, and optional overdrive, but nobody suspected what it could really do. The Golden Hawk didn't last long. Studebaker's decline meant it never got the recognition it deserved, but in its prime, it was a straight-line rocket disguised as a weekend cruiser. Number 2, 1955 Chrysler 300, the original letter car, the C300. Chrysler built this to dominate NASCAR and humiliate everything on the street. 331 cubic inch firepower Hemi V8 with solid lifters, dual 4 barrels, and a performance cam. 300 horsepower, hence the name. It was the most powerful full-size American production car of 1955. 0 to 60 in just over 8 seconds. Quarter mile in the high 15 seconds, matching early Corvettes. Won the NASCAR championship that same year. This wasn't just a luxury car with power. It was Chrysler's first performance flagship. Clean lines, modest chrome, leather bucket seats, and no frills. It was meant for serious drivers. Executive looks, race car heart. Number 1, 1957 Rambler Rebel, AMC building a muscle car. In 1957, they took their lightweight Rambler body and dropped in a 327 cubic inch Nash V8, 255 horsepower, and over 345 pound-feet of torque in a car weighing just 3,300 pounds. 0 to 60 in under 7.5 seconds. That made it one of the quickest American sedans of the entire decade. Faster than cars twice its price. It looked like something your high school principal would drive. Conservative four-door, clean styling, nothing wild. But anyone who tried to pass it learned fast. That badge said Rambler, but the performance said something entirely different. AMC didn't have the marketing firepower of the Big Three, and the Rebel only lasted 1 year in its original form. But it defined the sleeper formula decades before the term became popular. Bonus: 1959. Rambler American with 327 V8. This one's legendary among gearheads. AMC didn't officially offer a V8 in the tiny American, but performance dealers found a way. They'd swap in the 327 cubic inch V8, up to 270 horsepower, into a car weighing just 2,600 pounds. The result was absolute chaos disguised as an economy car. Grandma's grocery getter that could embarrass muscle cars that wouldn't exist for another decade. This wasn't advertised, wasn't mass-produced. It was a backroom secret built for drag strips and underground match racing. Today, finding one is nearly impossible, but legends of V8 swapped Ramblers still float around gearhead circles. It was the ultimate cheat code, the kind of sleeper you'd never see coming. Here's what blows my mind. These cars were doing serious numbers with 1950s technology. No fuel injection, no turbochargers, no computer management, just big displacement, smart engineering, and American ingenuity. That 1957 Rambler Rebel hitting 60 in 7.5 seconds? That's faster than a 2010 Camry V6. The Chrysler 300's quarter-mile times would be respectable today. And they did it all while looking like something from Leave It to Beaver. No aggressive styling, no boy racer nonsense. Just pure, understated performance. Your dad's generation understood something we've forgotten. Real power doesn't need to announce itself. It just needs to deliver when called upon. These weren't garage queens or weekend toys. They were daily drivers that happened to have monster hearts. You could take the family to church on Sunday, then embarrass a sports car on Monday morning. These cars changed everything. They proved that performance and practicality could coexist. They showed Detroit that Americans wanted more than just transportation. They wanted excitement disguised as responsibility. The Oldsmobile Rocket 88 invented the formula. Take a lightweight body, add a powerful engine, keep the styling subtle. Every muscle car that followed used this same blueprint. The Chrysler 300 proved that luxury and performance weren't mutually exclusive. The Pontiac Catalina showed that family cars could have serious bite. The Rambler Rebel demonstrated that small companies could build world beaters. Without these pioneers, there would be no GTO, no Mustang, no Camaro. These were the cars that wrote the playbook for everything that came after. They also established the sleeper mentality that still exists today. The idea that the most dangerous car on the road might be the one that looks the most innocent. The spirit of these cars never died. Today's Hellcat Charger is a direct descendant of that 1958 Dodge D500. Same concept, family sedan with ridiculous power. The Cadillac CTS-V follows the Lincoln Premier playbook, luxury cruiser that can embarrass supercars. Even Tesla Model S Plaid owners understand the appeal. Maximum performance in minimum flash. But here's what modern cars can't replicate: that mechanical simplicity. These 1950s monsters were analog beasts you could understand, modify, and maintain in your own garage. No computers, no sensors, no software updates. Just iron, steel, and gasoline working together to create pure automotive joy. That's why these cars are more valuable than ever. They represent a time when horsepower was honest and performance was personal. The bottom line, your dad's generation had it figured out. Real power didn't need flashy paint jobs or aggressive styling. It just needed the right engine in the right body with the right attitude. These cars proved that the 1950s weren't just about chrome and cruising. They were about hidden muscle, undercover speed, and genuine performance that modern cars are still trying to match. Every single car on this list could teach today's manufacturers A lesson about understated excellence. They didn't need to look fast to be fast. And here's the kicker. Most of them are still out there, sitting in barns, hiding in estate sales, waiting for someone who knows what they're looking at. That could be you. Think the 50s were tame? Think again. Smash that like button if this list surprised you. Subscribe for more forgotten legends, and drop a comment. Which of these sleepers would you want in your garage?